Hello. In this meeting, we are going to discuss the types of variables and level of measurements. In statistics, data are classified in two important ways. Type of variables, which means it could be quantitative or qualitative variables, or numerical and categorical variables. So this is called type of variable. And to be more specific, we have level of measurements, which means nominal, ordinal, interval, and ratio. So type of variable is more general, so it tells you if the variable is a numerical or categorical variable. But to be more specific, for example, if we have a numerical variable, it could be, for example, interval or ratio level of measurements. So understanding those level of measurements and type of variables, we can think about the appropriate graph and valid numerical summaries and correct interpretations. All right, so as I mentioned, there are two types of variables: numerical or quantitative variables and categorical or qualitative variables. All right, quantitative. Quantitative variables or numerical variables represents numerical values that measure or count quantitatively. Right? So, for example, if I ask you what is your GPA, what is your height, what is your weight, how much money do you have, those are examples of numerical or quantitative variables. And we can, to make a summary of those variables, we can make, for example, a histogram or box plot as a summary of those variables. The next is a qualitative or categorical variable. It describes characteristics or categories rather than numerical amounts. Right? So also we can use, they represent like groups or labels. For example, if I ask you what is your gender, what is your major, what is your eye color, those are examples of categorical or qualitative variables. So in this kind of variables, we can create like pie chart or bar chart to make a summary of this variable, right? For example, if I ask you what is your major, and there are like 50 students in this class, and then okay, maybe math student, let's say we have 15, maybe computer science students, 20, maybe like nursing student, whatever number, and then based on those numbers, we can create like bar chart or pie chart. For example, we have computer science here, we have, let's say, math student here, so less math and more nursing, for example, right? So this is an example of a qualitative or a categorical variable. All right, so as I mentioned, to be more specific, we have levels of measurements. So every variable also has a level of measurements: nominal, ordinal, interval, and ratio. Now, we are going to discuss those four levels. Nominal. Nominal, the data consists of categories or labels with no natural or order or ranking. So we have like categories or groups, but we cannot order them. For example, your phone brand, or your country of origin, or your gender, we can consider this as a label. There is no way for us to rank them, right? For example, we cannot say like male is first and then female, right? So there is no way to order them. If we can't order them, this is called nominal level of measurements. So think about nominal as a label. The second is ordinal. In ordinal level of measurements, we can order them. We can rank them. For example, satisfaction rating, right? So poor, fail, good, or excellent, right? So for example, poor, maybe we give a letter, the number 1, fair 2, poor 3, excellent 4. So we can rank or order them. Or class rank or letter grade, like A is first, then B, C, D, and F. So here we have kind of groups, but we can rank or order them. And by the way, the ordinal and nominal level of measurements are examples of qualitative or categorical variables. So both of them, nominal and ordinal, are categorical or qualitative variables. All right, so the interval level of measurements, it's numerical data with order values and meaningful differences between them, but no true 0 point. So we can, it's a numerical, not categorical variable, it's a numerical, so you have numbers. However, and we can calculate the difference between them, but there is no real or true 0. For example, the temperature in Fahrenheit, for example. The temperature is an interval level of measurements. Why? Because there is no 0, right? So if the temperature is 0 today, this doesn't mean the absence of heat, right? The calendar year, the IQ score, those are examples of level or interval level of measurements, and they are numerical or quantitative variables. So here, think about 0. Is there a true 0 or no true 0? If there is no true 0 or no real 0, this is called interval. However, if there is a true 0, this is called ratio, and this is our next slide. So the ratio is numerical data. We can make a difference. We can also think about, we can multiply, we can divide, and 0 means the absence of the quantity, which means a true 0. For example, the income. If I ask you what is your income and you said 0, so this means it's 0. Or what is how much money do you have in your bank account? When you say 0, this means you don't have money, right? So this 0 is a real 0. So in this case, it's called ratio level of measurements. And ratio, again, ratio and interval are examples of numerical or quantitative data. The following data describe information about a state senator. For each item, identify the level of measurements. The senator name is whatever, I said XYZ. So this is a name, this is a label, right? So the first one is nominal, because it's a label and there is no way to order, right? So it's nominal. The senator age is 51 years. So the age is an example of a ratio, right? Because 0 could be true 0, right? So your age is 0. This means like a newborn baby, right? So this means the age of 0. So number 2 is ratio. And for ratio, we can add, we can multiply, we can divide, we can multiply. For example, if the senator age is 60 years and your age is 30 years, this means this senator has double age, right? Or your age is half of the senator age, right? Number 3, the years in which the senator was selected or elected is 2020. So this is an example of interval. Because, so to make a difference between ratio and interval, you have to think about zero. Do we have a true zero or not? If the answer is yes, then it's ratio. If the answer is no, then interval. So there is no true zero here, right? So if I say like elected in year 0, it doesn't make sense, right? Number 4, the income. The senator income is like more than 400K. So this is ratio. So the money in general is example of ratio level of measurements, because 0 means you don't have money, right? The last one, a news magazine ranks the senator 7th for voting on public education bills. So the rank is 7. When we talk about rank, think about ordinal. Ordinal, because here we have a rank, right? Which means ordinal level of measurement. I hope this helps. Thank you very much for watching.